So if you're into fast cars, Fast and the Furious movies, or just seeing people do crazy things in the middle of New York City, then you've probably heard of one of the most prolific street racers on the entire internet that goes by the name of Squeeze Benz. Now Squeeze Benz has made a name for himself on the internet from cutting in and out of lanes, just swerving through traffic. But Squeeze Benz's cutting up career would abruptly come to an end on May 16th after he was arrested in New York City on numerous charges. But how exactly did Squeeze Benz get himself in this situation, and how exactly did all of this happen? That's probably why you're here. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to press that subscribe button and join the trap house with the biggest trapper. And while you're at it, don't forget to click that very first link down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. Now with all of that being said, let's get into the story of Squeeze Benz, New York City's most prolific street racer. Okay, so Squeeze Benz, also known as 19-year-old Antonio Ganestri, would gain massive internet popularity for driving fast cars and swerving through lanes all through New York City. His very first Instagram video would get posted back in January of 2023, and this would be the first video the internet will ever see of him driving reckless, just swerving through all of this different traffic in New York. And this art of being able to squeeze through lanes, drive super fast, and literally cut through traffic, the term used to describe this really varies depending on where you're from, but I've heard it mostly referred to as cutting up. He will continuously post videos of him cutting up in traffic to the internet, and this will lead to a massive blow up in all of his social media accounts. He's totaled over 700,000 followers on Instagram, over 130,000 followers on TikTok, and over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if you're wondering what type of content Squeeze Benz will post to his YouTube, all of these videos will literally be the same concept of him just driving a fast car and swerving through traffic. And these videos would accumulate over hundreds of thousands of views, and some even total over 1 million. And he would gain so much publicity from this type of content that he would even get featured on popular YouTubers like Tommy G's channel, and he will also appear on popular streamers channels like Neon. And in the stream that Squeeze Benz would do with Neon, it ended up going pretty well up until the end, where a car would crash into the back of Squeeze Benz's car, and a whole accident would end up happening in the middle of New York while Squeeze Benz and Neon just completely fled the scene.
Show me.
We're good, everything's fine.
And this is an example of how wrong driving like this could go. So I'm not encouraging or promoting this type of like reckless driving at all. I encourage everyone to just drive the way that they drove when they took their driving test, but obviously Squeeze Benz doesn't believe in that. And his cutting up career on the internet wouldn't last as long as he would have hoped, because over months of doing this type of content where he's recklessly driving through all of this traffic in New York, swerving in and out of lanes, cutting up, going 100 miles per hour, all of this good stuff, driving BMWs and Lamborghini Uruses all around New York, that will all end up coming to an end very quickly, because over time of him doing all of this reckless and endangering content, NYPD will start to pick up on this, and he hit their radar pretty quickly. And this is for various reasons, because not only was he literally recording himself committing multiple crimes, in some of his videos while he was speeding or doing this and that, he will also sometimes get chased by the police, and he would just completely flee and evade arrest, simply because the police just couldn't keep up with the way that he drove or the car that he was driving without endangering other people on the road as well. And for all of you that's wondering, well, how did he get away with this for so long? That's because Squeeze Benz was always completely masked up while doing his content or wearing a helmet. Nobody ever saw his face, no one knew his name, no one knew what he looked like. I don't even know if anyone knew what skin complexion that he was. Well, back in April of 2024, at approximately 1:16 a.m., police that were patrolling up area of Broad Street and Market Street observed a black BMW that traveled around their police vehicle at a very high rate of speed, and that car had no front or back license plates. Now, it's common for people who do these types of stunts to want to have a fully blacked out car because it's not really identifiable. Everybody has black cars, and they also take off the license plates because what's the main way to identify a car? A license plate. If they did any of this with a license plate on their car, they'll probably be caught like the next day or whatever the case may be. But Squeeze Benz was just very hard to catch because, for one, he never showed his face or anything like that, as I mentioned, and his car was an all black BMW, which I'm pretty sure is like a common thing in the area of New York and New Jersey. But while patrolling the area and seeing this car, the police noticed that the driver made a turn from Market Street onto Broad Street with a sign that said no turns. And when that happened, the police attempted to do a motor vehicle stop, but the driver disregarded their attempts and continued eluding the police at a very high rate of speed. The officers did not go on like a high speed chase or anything like that like they do in the movies like Fast and Furious or something like that, but they instead just put out a eluding report on the vehicle. And when this incident happened, that's when detectives would begin investigating, and they would end up locating several videos of Squeeze Benz committing various traffic violations throughout the entire tri-state area and attempted to antagonize police. And one of the videos they would end up finding on Squeeze Benz's social media accounts was literally a video of the entire incident that I just told you about, of him eluding police on Broad and Market Street. So after coming across that video on his channel and having the actual 100% confirmation that Squeeze Benz was the person eluding arrest, they began to coordinate with the NYPD Auto Crimes in Manhattan unit to locate where Squeeze Benz was, and he would face charges of eluding Newark police, and he will also have numerous other pending charges from several law enforcement agencies. But that one incident and video alone would not help them locate Squeeze Benz at all. They would end up going through all of Squeeze Benz's social media accounts, and they would even investigate the stream that he did with Neon for any additional information that they could find on the driver. And on May 16, Newark police and NYPD would finally complete a coordinated arrest on the 19-year-old YouTuber Squeeze Benz. He reportedly has a long list of pending charges that he's facing, and he's also being held on charges from a completely different state, which is probably New Jersey. But at the time of the recording of this video, Squeeze Benz is currently out on bail. And once he got locked up, it was a big thing on the internet because his mugshot had officially been released, and now the entire world knows what Squeeze Benz look like. And honestly, you would think that a lot of people would be happy that someone like this got arrested, but no. Squeeze Benz will receive a lot of love and support on the internet from fans and even rappers like Meek Mill. Meek Mill put out a tweet saying, "Put Squeeze in the next Fast and Furious, put him in the right direction. He's the best driver I've ever seen in my life." And honestly, shout out to Meek Mill for wanting to see something positive come from this, but he will receive a lot of backlash on this tweet. A lot of people will comment completely disagreeing with Meek Mill, saying that he put a lot of people at risk and he deserves to be in jail. Now, Squeeze Benz is only 19 years old, and assuming that this is his first time in actual legal trouble, even though he's probably facing a lot of serious charges, hopefully he doesn't get in too much legal trouble from this or serve an extended period of jail time or anything like that. He might have his license revoked for a very long time, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what really happens to Squeeze Benz. They could very well try to make an example out of Squeeze because the NYPD deputy commissioner will make a tweet on Twitter saying Squeeze Benz is in custody thanks to New York's finest. One of the most prolific street racers in New York City can no longer treat the Big Apple like the Indy 500. To anyone thinking about putting themselves and others in danger, recklessly zooming through the streets of New York City, think again. You will be arrested and your car will be seized. You will face justice. And then he tagged all of the New York Police Department accounts. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to try to make an example out of Squeeze or what's going to happen to him, but I don't think it's looking too good for him. He has gained an immense amount of support on the internet from people all over, and when you even have like a very big rapper and celebrity like Meek Mill on your side, then maybe things will work out for the better, and maybe he will end up being in the next Fast and Furious movie, because the man does have some serious driving talent. He's just using it for the completely wrong reason. Maybe he'll end up pursuing like a career in NASCAR or something like that, where he can legally do all these cuts and drive fast and do all the things that he genuinely loves to do. But that's just my opinion. Y'all know that the only opinion I really care about is y'all's opinion, so y'all let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about Squeeze Benz? Have you watched any of his videos before? Do you cut up in traffic? Okay, that sounded pretty fair, don't answer that. But have you watched any of Squeeze Benz's videos? Do you think he should be locked up for a long time? Do you think they should just give him a slap on the wrist? Just let me know what you think about Squeeze Benz and his content down below in the comments. While you're at it, don't forget to press that subscribe button and join me on my journey to 2,000 subscribers. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, or if you didn't, be sure to give me a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback to me, and as always, I appreciate all of the love and support, and I'll catch you boys and girls in the next banger, man.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.